Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao, and this is One News Now. China has expressed strong opposition to what it describes as meddling in the South China Sea conflict. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning said, Beijing is against any country that will harm its territorial sovereignty and maritime rights. She also stressed that the South China Sea is not a hunting ground for foreign forces. This statement comes on the back of the release of defense guidelines, stating that Washington will come to Manila's defense in case of any attack in the disputed waters. For his part, President Bongbong Marcos said that he does not feel China's latest remarks is directed at the Philippines.
Representing the Philippines, I don't feel alluded to. How can anyone say that we are not a party in interest in all of these issues? So I think that kind of statement was directed more towards the United States than it was for the Philippines.
President Bongbong Marcos has wrapped up his 5-day official visit to the United States. Marcos Jr. and U.S. President Joe Biden discussed enriching ties between their countries beyond military cooperation. The two leaders have agreed to work together in terms of sustaining economic momentum and securing inclusive development. President Marcos also said that his visit to the U.S. was essential in clarifying where the two nations stand when it comes to geopolitical issues.
National security is no longer simply about territorial defense. Economic security is national security. We continue to work on finding synergies and aligning our efforts to sustain our economic momentum and secure inclusive development by expanding cooperation in key areas such as agriculture, energy, infrastructure.
And from the United States, President Marcos is now off to the United Kingdom to attend the coronation of King Charles III. 2 hours ahead of his flight, Marcos Jr. told the media that he is looking forward to witnessing this historic event. The chief executive once again expressed regret over missing the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II, who is the mother of Charles. The president's sister, Irene Marcos Araneta, served as his special representative to the Queen's funeral last year.
Palagay ko, dahil magkakilala kami, dapat naman napakalaking bagay na siya'y kukoronahan bilang hari ng United Kingdom, ay dapat makapag-attend na ako.
Marcos Jr. is also expected to meet with UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak on the sidelines of the coronation. The president says that their talks will most likely center on economic issues, as well as on the UK's rising demand for Filipino health workers. And in London, final preparations are now underway for the coronation of King Charles III. Security is tight around the Buckingham Palace, with more than 11,000 police officers patrolling the UK capital on the day of the coronation. Ardent monarchists have started camping out around the road that leads up to the palace. And for the royalists, the British monarchy represents tradition and loyalty. Meanwhile, Britain's Prince William and his wife Kate took a trip by tube to a London pub. They were greeted by crowds in Soho, which is the heart of London's nighttime economy. The royals rode on the Elizabeth Underground train line, named in honor of the late Queen. We're pausing for a quick break, but One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Let's check in on the macroeconomy. Inflation further slowed last month. According to data from the Philippine Statistics Authority, headline inflation settled at 6.6% last month, lower than the 7.6% in March and 8.6% in February. The latest figure is also well within the Bangko Central's estimated target range of 6.3 to 7.1% for the month of April. The PSA attributes the inflation cool down to slower rise in food prices as well as non-alcoholic beverages and lower transportation costs. So far, the year-to-date and core inflation are both at 7.9%. All right, checking in now on the Southeast Asian Games in Cambodia. The Philippines is second in the medal tally with 7 medals so far. Ranked above us is host country Cambodia with 5 golds and 4 silvers for 9 medals so far. Coming in third is Thailand with 1 gold, silver, and bronze medal each. Laos comes in at 4th place with 1 gold and 3 bronze medals, while Indonesia has 6 total medals so far, 1 silver and 5 bronzes. SEA Games action continues tomorrow with the opening ceremony happening later at 7 p.m. And back here at home, here are the other stories we're watching today. Pag-asa is monitoring a low-pressure area off of Puerto Princesa in Palawan, which could develop into a tropical depression within the next 2 days. Another LPA has also been spotted right outside the Philippine area of responsibility. The State Weather Bureau says that they will be coming out with advisories within the next several hours on these 2 weather disturbances. The Philippine Coast Guard reports that 85% of the shoreline in Pola, Oriental Mindoro has been cleaned after the massive oil spill. The town of Nauhan, on the other hand, is 75% free of oil residue as of now. More than 6,000 sacks of fuel-contaminated debris have been collected from Oriental Mindoro since the sunken empty Princess Empress started leaking oil on March 1. The planned 6-hour shutdown of the Philippine airspace on May 17 has been reduced to just 2 hours. According to the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, or CAAP, the shutdown will now be from 2 to 4 a.m. This shutdown will make way for the replacement of the UPS, or uninterruptible power supply, that caused flight glitches on New Year's Day. And British singer Ed Sheeran has won a copyright trial that almost made him quit music. One jury in Manhattan, or in the Manhattan Federal Court, ruled that Sheeran's 2014 hit Thinking Out Loud did not unlawfully copy Marvin Gaye's 1973 single Let's Get It On. The Gaye classic was written by Ed Townsend. Recall that Townsend's heirs filed the lawsuit seeking for a share of profits from Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud. Before the jury's decision, Sheeran vowed to quit writing songs if the ruling goes in favor of the plaintiffs. One News Now will be back at 3 p.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.